flows through formal channels. Nigeria's micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, are the backbone of the country's economy, contributing significantly to job creation, economic diversification, and overall growth. As the nation celebrates World MSME Day, the spotlight will be on the resilience and ingenuity of Nigerian entrepreneurs as it provides an opportunity to discuss the challenges, contributions, and prospects of Nigerian entrepreneurs. Let's get talking now. Dr. Lanre Olusola, popularly known as the Catalyst, is a distinguished business leader in coaching, publishing, and keynote speaking. Recognized for his groundbreaking contributions locally and internationally, is a pioneer, the pioneer of the life coaching industry in Nigeria, leading OLCA Coaching Limited, West Africa's first integrative coaching academy. Dr. Olusola, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining Business Nigeria.
Good afternoon, Olusola. How are you today?
Well, very well, and I think I'm in tune with today's celebration, MSME Day, looking at their contribution to GDP and economic development. But let me ask you this way. How have we fared? I don't want to, do I limit it to Nigeria now? How have we fared with regards to creating that enabling environment for MSMEs to thrive in Nigeria? You can also give us a bit of your story. I know you've been to different aspects, different sectors of the economy, but how has it been? How challenging has it been?
Ooh, very, very interesting. Well, for the last, 30 plus years of my life, I've been a businessman.
Wow.
Running different businesses in Nigeria across different industries, from telecoms, to fashion industry, to furniture industry, to construction, to interiors, to training, now to, yep. You know, we've gone through ups and downs. We've gone through times where we failed. We've gone through times where we succeeded. And in the last 20 years, I've worked with different organizations across Africa and across the world in their businesses, from banking to telecoms to FMCGs, name it. And so, you know, I come with a very interesting dynamic perspective. And speaking about entrepreneurship, it is important for us to note, if we looked at the top 3 countries economically in the world, you look at China, you look at India, you look at America, what sets them apart from the rest of the pack? It is the number of entrepreneurs. It is the number of solutions that they provide through their entrepreneurs, and the amount of entrepreneurs that are solving problems locally and globally and are millionaires and billionaires. They aggregate, right, the revenue, the income, the cash flows within the countries. And so you would see that China is nowhere near everybody, where everybody else is. You see India is doing phenomenal, right? We see where America was coming from. And so in Nigeria, the future is entrepreneurship. In Africa, the future is entrepreneurship. We've got to create an enabling environment where entrepreneurs can thrive. The more entrepreneurs that we encourage to thrive, the more millionaire entrepreneurs, billionaire entrepreneurs we have, the better the economy. Now, let's separate Nigeria from the rest of Africa. Anywhere you go in Africa, Nigerians are respected. Yes. We're respected for our innovation, our creativity, our doggedness, our resilience. So it is when you sit in Nigeria that you think that, you know, everything is all bad. But in actual sense, in Nigeria, we are developing our resilience. We're developing our doggedness. We're developing innovation and creativity. Why? Because there's so much challenges around. I believe that where you have the most challenges is where you have the most innovation. They say that necessity is the mother of invention, right? And without creativity, without innovation, no business can survive. You remember the times when we used to go to video clubs?
Yeah.
Remember the times where we used to use Nokia phones and Sagem phones and Alcatel phones? Where are those businesses today? And why did those businesses fail? The reason why those businesses failed is because they failed to innovate and they failed to create. They failed to disrupt their status quo. And this is a major, major critical area in business that entrepreneurs need to look at. The economy, the government needs to create a very enabling environment because there are so many challenges. There are challenges with access to finance. There are challenges with the regulatory environment. There's multiple taxes. There's infrastructural deficiencies. We know that there's power issues. We know that there's road network issues for logistics companies. We know that internet connectivity in Nigeria is not the way that it's supposed to be. We know that we have challenges with market access and international competitors. For example, if we looked at the PR and advertising industry, you will realize that their competitors are Facebook, Instagram, Google, CNN Online, right? Because most people are placing ads on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google. So how do we begin to address all of these issues? We have to be creative. We have to be innovative. We have to think out of the box. We have to look at our locus of control, customer focus, market research. A lot of people get into business copying other people's businesses, but they do not sit down to do market research. They do not sit down to focus on which exact customer do they want to tailor their products and their services to. A lot of organizations are not innovative enough. They are not creative enough. They just settle for the norm. You've got, in this day and age, in this volatile, unpredictable, complex, and disruptive world, you have to be innovative. You have to use technology. You have to leverage on technology to enhance productivity, to reduce time, to reduce even the number of people that you are employing, to reach a broader audience. You've got to utilize digital tools for your marketing, for your sales, for customer relationship management, for operational efficiencies. It is impossible today, as we speak, for you not to leverage on artificial intelligence if you truly want to succeed. Another reason why African and Nigerian entrepreneurs struggle is lack of financial management skills. The business money is my money. So once I make $1 million like this, I want to buy a car. You have to separate your money from the business money. Meaning you have to pay yourself salary. You have to put the right structures and processes and systems in place. So let me just leave it at that. Perhaps you have another question.
It's really a good start. You know, moving into technology, many would say, like Nigerian MSMEs didn't really take advantage of technology until COVID struck. So some will say COVID opened up all the ways. We now have Zoom meetings. We now can do our transactions online. So many things came up. But are we really, as small businesses, leveraging tech like that you identified in this part of the world? Are we doing so well with regards to that at the moment in your assessment?
In my assessment, based on where we are, based on the challenges that we have, infrastructure of internet, no light, right? You know, we don't have a lot of those infrastructures like the Western world. But people are buying smartphones, people are buying small generators, and people are getting data. And they are doing a lot of stuff on the digital platform. I can assure you that some people, okay, let's look at our content platforms, right? Do you know how much our content creators are making? You know, with entertainment. Look at music. Do you know how much musicians are making just based on streaming alone? Do you know how much people like Macaroni are making from Facebook, from YouTube, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis? If it was not tech, if it was not digital platforms, they will not be making that kind of money. Yes, there was a disruption. The disruption was based on COVID. But one thing that Nigerians know how to do is to take advantage of opportunities. We also know how to create opportunities. And Nigerians, they have leveraged social media, they have leveraged digital media, and they are taking full advantage. They are positioning their brands, they are using it to market themselves, they're using digital marketing to push themselves. They are creating content. They are positioning their brands. Nigeria, we are far ahead. If you go to countries like Uganda, or go to countries like Ghana, or go to countries like Rwanda, right, or Kenya, or Egypt, you will realize how far advanced we are. You see, you do not know where you are if you do not compare yourself with somebody else. The problem with us is we are comparing ourselves with ourselves. Let's step aside and let's compare ourselves with the average entrepreneur in Ghana, with the average entrepreneur in Rwanda, with the average entrepreneur in Egypt. You will realize that we are head above shoulders how it is supposed to be. But I know without a shadow of a doubt, right, this economy is going to turn. Things are going to change. We must all believe that things will change. We must all play our own part for things to change. Once we continue to mouth negativity, once we continue to believe that there's no hope, our beliefs and our lack of hope or our hopelessness is going to keep us where we are. Look, we have spoken negatively about the nation. We have spoken negatively about our leaders. We have spoken negatively about, the environment that we live in for so many years. Where has it gotten us to? Nowhere. It is time that we change what we have been doing so that we can achieve something else. They say that the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same old thing the same way and expecting a different result. It is time for Nigerians to be patriotic. It is time for Nigerians to love Nigeria. It is time for Nigerians to love Nigerians. It is time for Nigerians to believe in a better tomorrow. It is time for Nigerians to begin to position themselves to create the better tomorrow that they want to experience. Now, there is no Nigeria without you and I. We are Nigeria. So when we point at a Nigeria and say Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is corrupt, Nigeria is this, who are we talking about? We're talking about ourselves. So we need to become the change that we seek in Nigeria. And this is where the change begins.
Interesting stuff. Now, let's take it a bit further. There's also a challenge that also comes to my mind, and I'm worried about it. Many would say it's not always all about funding in some cases. Do we always have bankable projects? A bank, like Bank of Industry, would not want to put money when it's not sure of the returns. So what about how innovative are we with regards to coming up with bankable projects? I'm sure you've seen a lot of pitches, you've seen a lot of ideas. So share with us what you've seen.
Olusola, you've hit the nail on the head. Okay. So I wake up today and I decide I want to do a project, right? And maybe somebody helps me write a business plan. And then they project that in the next 10 years, this business will generate an income of, let's say, hypothetical 1 billion naira, right? Right, in 10 years. However, the first year revenue is 10 million naira. But the entrepreneur is already seeing himself as a billion naira company. So he doesn't have the competencies, he doesn't have the capacity, he doesn't have the people, he doesn't have the knowledge, he doesn't have the know-how, right? For that business that he has seen in 10 years. But he needs to start somewhere, right? They say that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. I say no, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step in the right direction and consistent steps in that direction. So that guy wants to go to a BOI and go and borrow 200 million naira because he's thinking, I need to get an office in Ikoyi. I need to get a company car, maybe a Lexus Jeep. I need to equip my entire office. How about starting small? How about starting small? Your first, you are not going to generate more than 10 million naira. What do you want to borrow 200 million naira for? And so you go to a bank and say, borrow me 200 million naira. They've looked at your business projections. The first 1 year is 10 million. How do you want to pay back? So they tell you to go and bring your mother's head. They tell you to go and bring your grandfather's leg. They tell you to go and bring collateral that you don't even have. So you are discouraged and you say, oh, they don't want to give me money. How about asking yourself, what exactly do I need? Probably you need 3 million naira. Ask yourself, what do you have? Oh, you have that wristwatch. Oh, you have that car. You have 2 cars. Oh, you have a few things, right? That you from monies you've made in the past. Go and sell it. Go and pawn it. And use your 3 million naira to start that business. Or go to your family and say to them, you know what? Come and buy equity in this business, right? This business, we need 5 million to start it off. Let's use one of the rooms in the house, okay? You, my brother, you give me 1 million. You, my best friend, you give me 1 million. And get the money that you need and start small and grow rapidly. But you must be prudent. You must be disciplined. Now, you want to now go to the bank. You want to blow. You want to pepper them. You want to join the pepper them gang. You see, before the business even starts, the business has failed. So it is not access to funds. Let me give you a classic scenario, right? A lot of people want to do grand businesses. Do you know what the essence of entrepreneurship is? The essence of entrepreneurship is problem solving. That's it. An entrepreneur is somebody that solves problems. An entrepreneur is somebody that solves multiple problems. An entrepreneur is someone that adds value and creates value. Now, you may be passionate about maybe cars, but you decide that, no, the only thing that you want to do is you want to open a car showroom. And the car showroom must be on Olusola, and it must be Mercedes, Lexus, and BMW. So you are doing a projection and saying, man, we need 500 million to start this. No, you don't need that. You are passionate about cars, and your expertise is you're a mechanical engineer. You can begin to fix cars. You can begin to diagnose cars. You can be the best diagnosis center for any car that is a luxury car. You can start from there. Identify where on the spectrum, on that, car or transportation spectrum business, you can start without a lot of money. And then when you have established yourself and you have acquired a lot of customers with diagnosis, you can now say to them, do you know that, this car that you brought to me is a 10-year-old car. How about I help you get a car that is between 1 to 3 years old that will not give you a problem? So that same client that you are diagnosing his car problem becomes a customer for buying cars. Then every week, you are able to sell 7 cars that way. Then you grow from there. But no, I don't want to be seen the way that these people are doing their own. Me, I want to blow. I want to blow instantly. Nigerian entrepreneurs need to humble themselves. They need to come to the reality of the environment that we're operating in. See, why are Lebanese people coming to Nigeria in thousands? Why are Indians and Chinese coming to Nigeria in thousands? Why are Europeans coming to Nigeria in thousands? Why are Americans coming to Nigeria in thousands if there are no opportunities here? Look, these guys have identified that it is where there's the greatest challenge, that there's the greatest opportunity to make money. And so you will see the Lebanese. They are the guys that now control, the hospitality industry. All the restaurants, they own it. All the bars, they own it. All the nightclubs, they own it. It's because these guys have seen the opportunity. These guys understand it, this system, and these guys are making money there. Nigerians want to jackpot. Nigerians want to take off. Nigerians want to do grand businesses. I exercise every morning, six days a week. And I see people selling food by the roadside, people selling pure water, right? And so one day I engaged, the different categories of food sellers. And one of them said to me that, you know what, right? On a daily basis, I sell about food in those flasks, so in near those construction sites, right? One of them said to me that I sell approximately 50 to 60,000 a day. Another one that hires a boss and is almost like high level says I sell about 150,000 naira rice, beans, momo, egg. I sell 150,000 naira a day. So I ask them, how much is your profit margin? They say that it depends. Sometimes 50%, sometimes 60% of what they've invested is their profit margin. So someone that sells 150,000 naira a day, that comes there 6 days a week for 1 month, calculate how much money he's making. How many people in the office are making the kind of money that that person is making? Let me give you another classic case, right? Pure water. Pure water guys, they sell pure water in a truck. So they come early in the morning, maybe about 6:30 to 6:45. And there are 300 sacks of pure water, right, that they load on those trucks, and they drop it by everybody's gate, right? So they sell those pure water, I think maybe 300 naira times 300. That's 90K per trip. Some of them, they make a trip in the morning. Some of them make a trip in the afternoon when it's sunny. So some people make 90K a day, right, in terms of turnover. Some people make twice, 180K a day in terms of turnover. Pure water. No, I want to open a shop on Olusola. I want to blow. Look, ladies and gentlemen, it's important for us to recognize that there are many problems around us, right, that we're not seeing, that we can solve without plenty money. You see, I walk on the streets of Lagos every day, and I see money on the streets. We're leaving too much money on the streets. It is time for us to up. It is time for us to be aware. It is time for us to open our eyes and see the problems that people have. Entrepreneurship is about solving problems. Ask yourself, what problems am I passionate about solving? What problems am I empowered, equipped, or do I have the competency or the capacity to solve? Start from there. Start with what you're passionate about, right? Start with it, because irrespective of the challenges that you face, you will not stop doing it. You will find a way to overcome those challenges. And you've got to be able to ask yourself, all these international people that are coming to Nigeria, what do they see? The way we see our country is the way the country will benefit us or not. The way we see the problem will be our problems. I yield the mic to you, Olusola.
Wow, interesting conversation. I must say, I'm charged up. And I'm sure someone watching is also getting this message. But that's what time can take. We hope to have you again join our program. Dr. Lanre Olusola, it's the first time on the show. Really appreciate this. The catalyst. We thank you so much. Do enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
All right, there, coming up on the show, I have another doctor in the house. Dr. Femi Oladele is in the house. We'll continue the discussion around the MSME Day for 2024. Yes, it's a big space. They're talking about more than 100 million